Go.
Well, hello to everyone. I'm Justin Panganiban, and together with Angelo Bulan and Jorvina, and we are the social housing team. So today we're going to discuss a look at the possible scenarios in Quezon City 2050, social housing that is sustainable, accessible, and attainable. Next slide. So before we look into the possible scenarios, let's first look into the present scenario in Quezon City. So first of all, there is a large number of informal settlers in Quezon City. So aside from the fact that Quezon City is the biggest city in the Philippines in terms of population, there's also a large number of informal settlers in the city. So there's also a lack of budget for the social housing sector. And current social housing communities are not neighborhood friendly and sustainable. So for instance, there may be times wherein that certain relocation site may be far from where the people who live there. I mean, it. I mean, their place where they do their livelihood is far from the relocation site, and also it may also be far free from like transportation from transit areas. Okay, next. So then let's first look. Let's also look into the current initiatives of for the social housing sector. So first we have the land distribution for informal settlers. This is mostly done by the Quezon City LU. Then we also have seminars in relation to the social housing sector. Then also there's also private partnerships with the private sector. And lastly, there's also community development or partnering with community development workers.
For the four scenarios of the future of social housing, I'm Angelo Bulan and I'm here to present this. For the 2x2 matrix, first we have the Quezon City executes good governance from 2021 to 2050. On the other hand, we have Quezon City fails to implement good governance from 2021 to 2050. And we have social housing authorities being reactive and social housing authorities being proactive. For the first scenario, Quezon City executes good governance from 2050 to 2021 to 2050, but the social housing sectors are reactive. So it may cause to minimal improvements in the lives of the informal settlers due to the reactive social housing projects. For the second scenario, we have Quezon City executes good governance from 2021 to 2050, and social housing sectors are proactive. So the group agreed that this is the best case scenario wherein the local government and the social housing sector work together for the welfare of the people. So in here, we can achieve the sustainable, accessible, and inclusive social housing. For the third scenario, or the scenario 2A, Quezon City fails to implement good governance and social housing authorities are reactive, so both negative. So the number of informal settlers will increase and mas magiging congested ang Quezon City. And for the last scenario, we have the scenario 2B, Quezon City fails to implement good governance and social housing authorities are proactive, so negative and positive. So still there is a minimal improvements in the lives of the informal settlers due to the lack of good governance. So we can see here in the four scenarios that good governance along with proactive social housing sectors will greatly contribute for a sustainable, accessible, and inclusive social housing. So that's all. Thank you very much for listening.